Yo, what's going on? So, back on theory. Um, Last time round we did yellow belt, green tag. Now we're going to kick on and kind of go green belt, blue tag. So it's terminology for green belt, blue tag. Again, it's not comprehensive. This isn't everything you need to know in the whole world, but it is stuff that will be useful. The base level, the baseline of what you kind of need, in my opinion. There's no it's not a globally accepted standard, so it's just my humble opinion. Things that you need going from Korean terminology going up to the grades, right? The basic model, like I said the last time round, is we look at the patterns that you're studying at those grades, and we look at the terminology that's in the techniques there. I mean, like I said last time, some people say you should learn the techniques from the next grade and have that incorporated, but at very minimum, you need to know the Korean terminology for the techniques of the patterns you're studying at your current grade, right? That's the way I see this one. So we dig on and we go through two patterns now, Wanyo and Hyulgo, and we look at some of the techniques, the new techniques, new stances, new blocks, new kicks, whatever it might be. So let's walk through Wanyo. Straight away, you can think of a new stance. You have Moa Jumbisugi A, Moa Jumbisugi A, closed ready stance A, Moa Jumbisugi A, Moa Jumbisugi A, closed ready stance A. I feel like a bingo announcer. Anyway, what else happens? We've done Sang Palmak Maki, you're already aware of. We have a knife hand strike as well, but it's different to side strike. This is Anaro Sun Kao Teregi. Anaro Sun Kao Teregi. This is inward knife hand strike. Inward knife hand strike. Anaro Sun Kao Teregi. We have new stance as well. We have Gojung Sugi. Gojung Sugi is fixed stance. 1 foot length longer than an L stance. Gojung Sugi. And we also have Yop Apchimuk. So side punch with the front fist. They are your new stance as well. That comes into Wanyo. Lots of new stances in Wanyo. Well, two. This is the first one, or this is the second one. This is Gaburio Jumbisugi A. Gaburio Jumbisugi A, which is bending ready stance A. Gaburio Jumbisugi A. You have your side piercing kick, you have your knife hand guarding blocks, you have your straight fingertip thrust, you know all of that. We're back to the start. New block that comes into Wanyo is circular block. Circular block. This is Dalmiomaki, circular block. And then you have your bending ready stances, and you have your Palmak Debi Maki at the end. And as we know from Dangun, if you have Sunkal Debi Maki, to transform that into a forearm guarding block, it becomes Palmak Debi Maki. Palmak being the forearm, Debi being guarding, and Maki being block. And again, like I said before, these techniques are all kind of like little Lego blocks that you have to clip together. So, you know, Maki is block, you know, Palmak is forearm, you know, Debi is guarding, so you have forearm Debi, Palmak Debi Maki, forearm guarding block. And then you can combine that with other things like stances, Nyunjasugi, Palmak Debi Maki. So now you know it's L stance, forearm guarding block. Similarly, you can start to create sequences yourself out of the terminology that you're started learning as you go, right? And I'll leave that to your own devices, a little exercise you can do. It's nice to come up with kind of fundamental exercises this way if you're working on techniques up and down the floor. You can take these this is how you break down your terminology. Give yourself a sequence of 2 or 3 movements from your pattern, and or from anywhere from the terminology you're learning, and combine them. And this is a nice way to learn it, as well as just sitting there with the list and reading and recycling and look, cover, right, check, all of these sort of tricks and methods, right? That's kind of Wanyo, isn't it? There's nothing there that I sort of missed. Kicking techniques, you've seen the side kicks already. But again, you're probably doing other kicks up and down the floor at this stage. So one of the ones you've probably seen now is Bande Dalio Chagi, reverse turning kick. If you remember back to the punching techniques, we had a Baro Apchimuk Jeruji and a Bande Apchimuk Jeruji, and Bande was reverse. So we know that turning kick is Dalio Chagi. So now we can pre-pen Bande to it, and we get Bande Dalio Chagi, reverse turning kick. And similarly, Bande Dalio Goro Chagi, reverse turning hooking kick. Bande Dalio Goro Chagi. 2 different techniques, 2 similar names. You're probably doing both of these up and down the floor at this stage as well. Where do we go next? We go to sort of blue tagish area. You'll go, and you're probably finding now that the terminology is there's new things being added, but there's less and less to learn because you have the kind of components that clip together. Now you're just learning how to kind of transform them, right? That how to describe them better, right? So rather than just front punch, you know, it can be side punch, it can be high punch, middle punch, whatever, you know, or the different types of makis, the different types of stance and whatever, right? So now you're learning these kind of sequences this way, which is why the terminology kind of becomes a little bit easier as you go up the sort of color belt grades. But there's still more of it. So if you don't get it right at the start, you're really in trouble. But anyway, on we go. You'll go where we have Anansugi. This is okay. You have your 2 middle punches. This is also okay. We've covered all of this. Walking stance, middle blocks, front kicks. Yep, all good, all good. First one you see is the new blocking technique. Using the palm, so it's palm hooking block, Sunbarak palm gulcha hooking maki block, Sunbarak gulcha maki. This is palm hooking block, and I am going to check because I always forget. No, I'm not. Doesn't matter because it's not written here. Anyway, so palm hooking block, Sunbarak gulcha maki. And this is, again, this can be done on the obverse and the reverse side, barrow and bande. So it can be barrow, Sunbarak gulcha maki, bande, Sunbarak gulcha maki as well. Where do we go? We plow on. We have your bending ready stance, your side kick, and then we have a new striking technique, which is ap palkup teregi, front elbow strike, ap palkup teregi. Have your bending ready stance, away we go. And now we have a technique that we already kind of know, but we just changed the tool. So if you go back to Dan Gun, you remember Sang Palmak Maki, twin forearm block. This one has the same technique, but delivered with knife hands. The tool has changed, so now we have knife hand. So this becomes Sang Sunkal Maki. Sang is twin, Sunkal is knife hand, Maki is block. Sang Sunkal Maki. You have your straight fingertip thrust next. We know that one, that's okay. Sun Sun Kutulki from Dosan. No problem with that. Around, boom, 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 boom. New stance coming on here. We have X stance, Kyochisugi. X stance, Kyochisugi. With your back fist strike, which again you already have from Dosan. Dongjimuk Teregi. Back fist strike. New block as well. Last techniques are new blocking techniques. This is double forearm block. Dupalmok Maki. Delivered high section, half facing. Dupalmok Maki. Double forearm block. So these are your kind of new fundamental techniques from the patterns. And your other stuff that's probably happening now is, you know, things like you're doing consecutive kicking. Yon sok tonjak, consecutive kicking. So it might be, you know, Yopchajiruji or Dalyochagi Yopchagi, Yon sok, you know, turning kick, side kick, consecutive kick, don't put the foot down. Now you can start to incorporate things like, you know, Tuimyo Yopchajiruji, flying side piercing kick. You're probably playing with all of this stuff as well in class and learning these and you know, having a go. You're into your special techniques so that as well, you know, Tuimyo not be chaggy, these kind of overhead kicks and stuff like this. So all of these stuff would be nice to know. But definitely, like I said, must know the core techniques and the patterns in Korean. Must know them. Can't not know them. And if you can learn some of the motions and stuff like that as well, this is a useful thing. I mean, you're definitely sparring at this stage in the game, so you probably need to know the commands for sparring. You know, hecho, sijak, commence stop and commence, and jibihana. You know, one warning, gamjumhana, one foul. These kind of things. And they're the kind of stuff that there is. You have your step sparring as well, sambo matsugi, ibo matsugi, and nilbo matsugi, and these are your 3-step, 2-step, 1-step. So you probably need these terminologies as well, so that if it's called in the exam and they don't tell you what it is and they just say it's sambo matsugi, you know. And that's some of the other stuff as well. So these are the kind of terminologies from these patterns. Depending, I don't know, I mean, everyone's syllabus is different. Some people will have a fundamental section laid out for hands and feet, and it might be different. But again, this is more a core terminology examination of the techniques in the patterns and how to break down the new techniques in each pattern. Obviously, this stuff is cumulative. You add them on to the stuff you've done last time. Like I said before, you can't sort of just forget your last theory section. You need to always be adding to your toolbox, as they say. And yeah, I mean, this is just terminology. It's not theory. I mean, things like you may be asked things like explain connecting motion or whatever, but this is outside the scope of this video, right? So if you want a video on motions or stuff like that, we can certainly dig into that in the future. But for now, it's just the terminology from the patterns, and I hope you're finding some value out of it. I hope you're getting some use out of it. This is green belt and blue tag. We look at blue belt, red tag next time. Okay. If you're liking the videos and the podcast stuff, give them a share, give them a like, tell all your friends how amazing it is. And yeah, cool. Right. Thanks very much. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.